Hi folks, welcome to TDL TV, the Dogline Live. Today it's about bark collars, folks, and it's the BUQ, it's the big buck. The buck is going to stop here. Now, do bark collars hurt a dog? If you get a good quality bark collar that is designed to go off when it should and it is accurate and it's very safe, then the bark collar will not hurt the dog. My points as well with bark collars, I have never had anyone call me and say, I need to buy a bark collar because my dog is going to look good in that bark collar and I want him to wear that bark collar for aesthetics. They have always called me in the last 15 years and said, I'm at the end of my tether. I have got the neighbour sending me nasty letters. I've got the rangers knocking on my door and I'm going to get into some big trouble, and I'm worried about my dog's safety if I don't control the barking. So people don't call us just because it's a short, quick fix situation. They have usually tried a lot of things, spoken to a lot of people, and also found a lot of failure, which has been bad for the dog. So if you go out and you buy a cheap bark collar, you are probably going to be setting yourself up for disappointment, I'm afraid. The price of a bark collar certainly dictates its quality and its effectiveness on a dog. You will find that in some products. There's a lot of people that will buy something and try and get away with a cheap option. But if you want to call us and have a talk about your dog, we have got bark collars that have been exceptionally good for the last 15 years. They're very safe, and you can actually rent them to try them first. And even if you do get one and it's not the thing you need, we can do our trade up as well. So the other thing is talk about positive reinforcement as far as bark collars and how they're not going to be hurting a dog. If you have a dog that's outside and he is barking to be let in, you can't control the situation, and what's happening is when you go outside and you tell the dog off or you're getting frustrated, then you're actually rewarding the dog for that particular behaviour. So you're reinforcing the bad behaviour, and that's kind of like toddler taming. If you've got a good quality bark collar and you put it on the dog and then the dog barks and gets corrected and he stops barking at the back door, then you go out and you reward the dog for not barking. You are actually reinforcing positive behaviours instead of being the bad guy in the relationship. So these units can actually improve the relationship between the owner and the dog. Now, every time I have watched Cesar Millan go to someone's property and talk about their dog, his message to them is, this dog needs consistency in its life, it needs structure, it needs to know its position, and it needs to be taught manners, basically. So if you have a collar that is activating when the dog's barking for nuisance reasons, then it's going to achieve all those things. Now, as far as types of bark collars on the market, there's a few that do varying different things, but the main ones are a vibration bark collar. It picks up vibration and it activates, and it gives the dog varying degrees of vibration. This is a good one from PetSafe. We have ultrasonic collars. You might have actually heard that going off, and they let off an ultrasonic pitch, similar to the one that we did 3 weeks ago, which was the outdoor bark house. We also have Citronella style collars, which are not my favourite, and they go off and let off a spray of Citronella. That's going to stink in the office in a little while as well. Then we have static correction collars. What happens with static correction collars? They pick up vibration, they let off a static. Now, will they go off if a dog's next to them? If you get a sound activated collar, usually like a Citronella, which is sound activated, that's a good question. It's so localised around the dog's neck that it won't pick up the stray sounds. If you have a vibration activated collar on your dog's neck, another dog barking will not pick this up because it's only localised on the dog wearing the collar, which is quite important. However, there are some units around, like the ultrasonic outdoor units, that do pick up noise and go off. So you would be better off giving us a call to chat about the actual situation. Another query coming in. Mark, yes, good question. Are they suitable for long-haired dogs? Yes, they are, because if you actually put them on the dogs, we've had them successfully, particularly this one on Huskies. When you put the collar on, the hair will give way, and you can just check the fit and make sure that the collars are resting gently up against the area they need to be, which is on where the vibration and the noise is produced. So long-haired dogs, not a problem. But again, if you do get something and you try it, why not rent it first, and then you can upgrade to something more advanced if you want to.